Ladies and gentlemen, the Zimbabwean government never fails to surprise. Just when you think they have exhausted their bag of authoritarian tricks, they dig even deeper to find new ways to torment their own citizens. This time they've decided to go full throttle on vendors, social media users, and anyone who dares breathe without state approval. True to the threats issued yesterday, like we reported, the government has ordered municipalities across the country, not just Harare this time, but everywhere, to clear out vendors from central business districts and so-called undesignated selling points within the next 48 hours. That's right, folks. If you thought this was just about Harare, think again. The full wrath of Daniel Garwe, the ever-diligent Minister of Local Government and Public Works, is coming down on every vendor in sight. One might think that there was an urgent economic plan in place, perhaps one that creates formal jobs so that these vendors would not need to sell tomatoes and airtime on the streets. But no, there's no such a thing. Just brute force and a reminder that in Zimbabwe, survival itself is a crime. Let's hear Garwe issuing the threats.
The government has noted with great concern the proliferation of illegal vendors in central business districts and surrounding areas in the cities and towns across the country, and particularly the influx of night vendors or night trading, which has created serious health, safety and security concerns throughout the country. It has also been observed that the mushrooming of these unregulated marketplaces disrupts the operations of legal registered and law-abiding traders, leading to increased unfair competition and potential financial losses. Illegal vending perpetuates unsanitary conditions as vendors operate in areas without potable water and ablution facilities, which poses a significant risk for disease outbreaks, diseases such as typhoid, dysentery, and cholera. Furthermore, the accumulation of waste from these vendors has rendered some roads, sanitary lanes, and sidewalks impassable, exacerbating public health and safety issues. These vendors have got a tendency of hiding their waste in our drains, which is creating serious problems that when it's raining, our roads become flooded because of the drains are now blocked. Moreover, the proliferation of illegal vending has created a haven for criminal activities, including theft, robbery, drug dealing, posing a direct threat to safety of residents and visitors alike. The lack of regulation and oversight in these areas allows criminal elements to exploit the situation, further destabilizing communities and eroding public trust in law enforcement agencies. In light of these pressing issues, the government is directing all local authorities to clear vendors from undesignated points within 48 hours from now. During this operation, local authorities will be supported by law enforcement agencies to ensure the maintenance of.
Garwe, in his infinite wisdom, didn't just stop at vendors. He went a step further, issuing a stern warning about littering.
Throwing litter as you so wish, thinking that there is somebody who's coming to pick up your garbage, is now going to attract heavy penalties on those people. So citizens and us who are here, be warned. We want to remain people that are cleanliness, because cleanliness is close to holiness. And poorly defined like the way citizens are trying to do now, where you do whatever you want to do or you say whatever you want to say, including insulting leadership of the country, and they expect to get away with it. It's criminal. And some people it's treasonous. You don't take this course and to be ruthless upon those who are going to throw it anyway. We want to live in a clean environment where we are not scared of cholera, we are not scared of dysentery or any other disease, or we don't have these drug dealers all over. It's very difficult now to identify and arrest drug dealers if we allow what is obtaining now to continue happening as it is. We are putting a stop to that. We have been given this mandate by His Excellency, the head of state and first.
Yes, because obviously the biggest crisis in Zimbabwe isn't poverty, joblessness, or looted public funds. It's that one Mazoe bottle someone discarded on the street. According to him, a cleaner and healthier environment must be maintained at all costs. At all costs. At all costs. What about a favorable economic environment? So what he fails to mention is that the biggest source of filth in this country isn't street vendors. It's the corrupt politicians who loot the country dry while pretending to be the moral police. It's these people who drive the vendors into the streets in the first place. But of course, in the grand tradition of Zimbabwean governance, they will pretend that the problem is the little guy selling second-hand clothes, not the big men siphoning millions out of public coffers. And just when you thought the circus couldn't get any wilder, enter Jane Van Mswere, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. Yeah, that one. The one who forced his way in Parliament and introduced a bill that makes sure that you do not renew your motor vehicle license unless you have paid a ZPC license. That one. Here to remind you that not only are you not allowed to earn an honest living, but you also shouldn't talk about it online. Muswere is now pushing for a new law to govern social media because obviously the real threat to Zimbabwe isn't mismanagement, but rather those pesky citizens who dare expose government incompetence on Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp. You see, the regime has realized that Zimbabweans are very good at connecting the dots. Too good, in fact. With each corruption scandal, each repressive policy, and each blatant lie, people have taken to social media to express their frustration. And that, comrades, is unacceptable. So Muswere has decided that the best way to fix Zimbabwe is not to improve governance, not to create jobs, not to stop stealing. No. The best way to fix Zimbabwe is to control what people say on the internet. Let's be real. All of this isn't about vendors or littering or even social media. It's a well-orchestrated distraction. The government is under fire again for corruption, looting and general incompetence. And what better way to shift the narrative than by waging war on vendors and threatening social media users, like wage war against the citizens? The goal here is simple. Create chaos, instill fear, and make sure people are too busy scrambling for survival to notice the billions being looted at the top. If they are not running from municipal police, they should be too afraid to post about it on Facebook. And if they manage to do both, well, there's always the army to remind them who is the boss. So as we brace for yet another round of vendor evictions and more threats against free speech, one thing is certain: the government has no intention of fixing anything. Its only priority is to make sure that no one, absolutely no one, dares hold it accountable. And if that means bulldozing vendor stores, arresting citizens for littering, or silencing social media users, then so be it. And after Garwe talked about this littering in the city of Harare, the Varakashi for ED on social media, like lapdogs, were posting scenes of litter in Harare. And the pictures that they were posting, they were just showing one thing: not that the vendors are littering Harare, not that the people are littering Harare, but that the city of Harare is not collecting the litter from designated litter points. And because they are not, the littering creates a mess around the collection points. And as a result, people can no longer be able to throw into the container itself, but around the container, because there's no way to access the container. This is an indictment on the government itself. The government is littering our streets, and they are blaming it on you and me. But here's the thing. about repression. It never works forever. No matter how many vendors they chase away, they will come back. No matter how many laws they pass, people will still find ways to speak out, because the truth is a stubborn thing. And no matter how much ZANU-PF tries to suppress it, it always finds a way to break through. You can't keep people away from ventures that they are doing to try and keep them alive. When it comes to survival, a person will do everything. People cross the Limpopo River infested with crocodiles. After you cross the Limpopo River, you run into the risk of muggers mugging you before you even reach Messina. But people do it anyway because they want to survive. So all the vendors being chased away, keep selling. I know today you were being beaten up by police and your things being confiscated, all of that happening. But don't give up. Gather those things that are left and go and sell. Keep selling. To all the social media users being threatened, keep posting. Recruit more people to post. Insult the president more if you can. And let's see if they are going to arrest the whole of Zimbabwe. And to the people of Zimbabwe, keep resisting, because the only way this madness ends is if we refuse to be silenced. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for subscribing to Zimwaves TV. The numbers are growing and we seem to be doing well. Thank you very much.